Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I thought we would have a look at the game where I played Grandmaster. So on Thursday there were a Grandmaster named Torbjørn Ringdal Hansen at my local chess club. He's a Norwegian Grandmaster. Yeah, he visited my chess club and me and my mate went down there to hopefully get a chance to play him, and we did. My mate was a bit unfortunate and was a bit ambitious maybe in the opening and went for some tactics that didn't work, so he wasn't too happy about his game, but I got a pretty good game against him. My mate played the white pieces against him and I played the black pieces. I feel like when I play against stronger opponents, I prefer to be black, mainly because they get to take like the game where they want it. Like, how do you say that? If I had the white pieces, maybe I felt a bit more pressure and that I have to keep the pressure up and because you have an advantage. But I would rather be the underdog and try to fight my way back or try to fight for equality. And I had a pretty good game against him, and I want to show you guys the game. As you see, he is 2407 and I'm 1700. I do not have an official FIDE rating yet. I have played 2 tournaments and I think it's estimated to be around 1700. But I do not have an official rating yet. So he's 2407. He has gone a bit down, he said. He doesn't play too much in tournaments anymore, and he's not at his peak, but he's still a Grandmaster and is a strong opponent, so I was a bit scared, to to say the least. So let's have a look at the game. Also, I'm trying out another microphone, so please let me know if the sparking is okay or better. I tried another microphone and the spark was still there. I'm not sure if it's OBS or why it does that. I've tried to adjust some settings, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Also, I have the sunglasses on today. It was a bit sunny, and this is actually the second time I record this video because of the sparking in the microphone. So let's hope it's better now. Okay, so the game starts with e4, e5, and he plays knight f3, and I play knight c6, and he goes into Rue Lopez with bishop to b5. Usually when I meet Rue Lopez, I go into Cosio defense, where I play my knight to e7. I think I played it earlier in the game. And the ideas can be knight to g6 here. Maybe it wants to support d5, but it kind of depends on what white decides to do. And he plays a good move here, which is obviously the theory, and he plays knight to c3. I haven't faced it too much yet, but I have some games where people have played this. And then I usually go for g6, which the computer doesn't agree totally with, but it is a book move and it's theory. And now it goes for this interesting d4 move. So there's a lot of ideas behind the d4 move, which is very common in the Rue Lopez. And in this variation, obviously I have to take this pawn, and now a lot of people on my level probably will take back with the knight here, but he throws in this pretty interesting knight to d5, and this move has some threats to it. I'm not sure if you see it straight away, but if you're not careful here and you maybe want to kick away the bishop, maybe you want to play d6 to open up this bishop or something. But if you do one of these moves, you get checkmated in one move. The knight takes away this square also, and it gives check to the king. So it's a it is a few tricks, but also I remember studying this theory. I have this course on Chessable that I use, where you have the move trainer, and this is a line that maybe I played it once online, but this is not very common that people play like this on my level. But I do remember the theory here, and I know I have to play bishop to g7 to protect this square. And he follows up with the best move, which is bishop to g5, sort of adding more pressure to this square. And here you also have to be a bit careful. If you do, there is only one good move here. If you do like castle in this position, which looks okay, you actually lose a piece here. Everything looks like it's defended, but after bishop takes on c6, you can't take back with the knight because you lose the queen, and after you take back with whatever pawn, this knight is hanging. So you have to be a bit careful, and I did play the best move, which is h6. He goes bishop into to f6, and hold on, let me see here. Yeah, I have to trade here, and he gives a check, and king f8 is forced. And he takes the pawn in the middle of the board here. So this is all a theory, and here I remembered that in the course there is a move that I remember the guy that has the course said that this move will probably shock a lot of opponents. It is the best move in the position, but it can be a bit difficult to see. I showed this position to a mate and asked him what he wanted to play, and he wasn't able to find it. But it makes some sense after you see the move. So I did play knight to f5, which is the best move in the position. And it looks a bit crazy because the knight can be taken a lot of ways. But the idea here is that his knight is pretty strong on f6, and I want to trade that away. And if he wants to save that knight somewhere, then this knight would be loose because it's attacked twice. So when he saw this move, I think he was a bit shocked as well. And I asked him after the game where his theory stopped, and he said knight f5. He had seen that in a tournament many years ago, but that's not a move that people usually play, but he knows that it is a move in the position. But he said probably there his theory stopped. He did play a few more moves that is correct and is the theory, but he made a mistake after a while here. So he did the correct thing, taking my knight on f5, and I take his knight on f6, and then he trades on c6, which is correct, and I take with a pawn. Usually I want to take towards the center, but here I want to get my bishop into the game and open up these files for my rook here. And as you see, the position is totally equal here. There's nothing wrong with either side, but we have an interesting game here. And I think after this move, I kind of shocked him a bit, because he does take on g6, which is the best move. And here I played. It's not the only best move I see in the position, but it's the next best move though. So I played king g7, and it looks a bit strange at first, but there is some hidden tactics and such in the position. There's only one move here that keeps the game equal for white, and actually he did not find it. So some of the tricks in the position is if he, for example, castles here, I have rook to d8, and the knight is attacked twice, and if he moves the knight, then he loses the queen. And if you defend the knight with c3, I can play c5, and I win the knight. And I think he saw that variation, so he decided to go c3 straight away. There's also yeah, there's a bit hard, like every move that looks normal here could be pretty bad. So he plays c3, which is not the correct move. The correct move to play here is actually knight to e2, and then castle after I take back here. But he plays c3, and I knew that it says c3 is a blunder, and I knew that this move isn't good. I knew that the only move here is knight to e2, but I don't remember what I should play, because now it doesn't work anymore with the rook to d8, and there's actually only one move here that keeps the advantage for black. So I had to think here for a bit, but I did find the best move, and I played rook to e8, giving him a check, and he decided to move his king into f1, and then I recaptured my pawn here, which is not the best move, but it's an okay move. So I have a bit of an advantage already, which was kind of fun. Okay, so here my theory kind of stopped. After c3, I found the best move, and here I was on my own trying to find the ideas. So he went for a queen trade. He wanted to trade the queens. And usually you do want to trade your queens when your king is more exposed or more in danger than your opponents. So I was considering trading down here. But then again, like, he didn't have, like, what is his attack here? His idea would probably be to take back with a knight, and then I don't know, maybe move a pawn here and get the rooks into the middle here. So I thought I do want to keep my queen on. I just had to decide where I wanted it, and I decided to play queen to e5 to keep some control over these two squares. Now rook e1 isn't possible, for example. That would be checkmate. And after this move, he had to think a bit and try to come up with some ideas about for his own position. It's not too easy to know what to do here for white either. Like, I have some ideas. Maybe even play, okay, maybe not play there straight away, but playing b6 and getting my bishop into the game here, getting the rook into the middle. So I have some ideas at least. So he decided to go for h4 to try and get a bit of counterplay on my king. But when I played this move, I thought it was helped me a bit, because I wanted to find out where I wanted this bishop, and now the g4 square looks super good for my bishop. I can't go there straight away, but I have to back up this square, and I played h5 to support the bishop. And the computer doesn't fully agree, but if I get my bishop here, I will get a lot more control over this square. I will have 3 pieces attacking it, and he can't play g4 anymore because I will just take it. So I decided, like, the best move here is actually queen to g3, but he played g3 instead. So you see the computer doesn't like that move. It's minus 3.6 here. And the computer suggests c5 here, and I saw c5, but I wanted to wait a second before I played it. So I played my bishop into g4 with a tempo on the queen, and he wants to have a queen trade again. And I was considering taking the queen here, because I would double his pawns. Maybe they will be a bit weak, so I can attack them. But then I thought maybe I want to play c5 now, and I did play c5, which is the best move in the position. And my idea was that after trades like he did, now the knight doesn't have many places to go, like the e2, f3, f5, e6 and c4. Every square is protected by my pieces. And if he were to be a bit fancy and try to take some pawns, he would actually lose his knight here. right? So the knight actually only have one square it can go to, and now it's pushed a bit more back. So I like this position for me. And now I get my rook into e2, where I attack the knight again, and his pieces are very crammed. Is that how you say it? Like, it's kind of hard for him. Like, I have some ideas about playing my rook into f8, target the f2 pawn here. The b2 pawn is a bit weak. So I feel like I have a lot of play here, and the computer says it's minus 3.6, so I'm in a feeling pretty good here. And I think here also I bumped into my mate, and I said, I think I got him. Like, I have him on the ropes here, and I just don't have to overthink it and screw it up. My hand was shaking every time I was trying to make a move, but yeah, he didn't believe me, but I showed him the game after, and he understood that this does not feel good for white at all. So he decides to play his knight into e3 to attack my bishop, and I played my bishop into f3 to attack his rook and also support my rook here. He plays rook to g1, and here it actually suggests doubling up the rooks here, and I was thinking about doing that, but I wanted to keep his rook a bit more passive, and also this pawn is loose, because obviously if I go rook d8, or maybe he can, maybe he can't go there anyways, but my idea was that I wanted to I took the b2 pawn, so his rook can't enter this square, and his rook can't like go to c1, or it can go to c1, but why would it? It is looking at his own pawn here, and rook to e1 doesn't look that good. If I ever get to double my rooks here, and he wants to play rook to e2, maybe I can try and reroute the bishop somewhere and attack it. So here I felt awesome. Like, I felt like I have everything under control, and I wasn't too worried. He played the best move in the position, which is g4. And here I looked at so many moves, and I actually didn't look at the best move here, which is very strange because it's very obvious. The best move here is to take the pawn with the h-pawn. And that didn't cross my mind. I thought about taking it with the bishop. I thought about moving my rook. I thought about moving this rook now into this file here. A lot of things, but I didn't think about trading here, because even if I do trade everything off here, the c3 pawn is pretty weak, the f2 pawn is pretty weak, and I think that would be a bit easier to win rather than the path I chose here. Still, I made a move that was okay. The computer doesn't fully agree with it, but I'm still keeping some advantage. But I played rook to f8 here. The idea is to x-ray kind of this pawn, so if he does trade here, maybe... Okay, so he did take here, so again I was faced with a decision. Do I want to take with the bishop here and open up this diagonal? But then I can play rook to g2, and I wasn't too sure how to kick that rook away since my bishop is on h5. So I decided to play bishop to e4 to keep this rook out of the game. His rook can't get back here to defend it. That would actually be checkmate. And the only move I saw for him here was to play knight to g4, which is a bad move. But that was the only defensive move that I saw to protect this square. But then I thought I could just take back the pawn here, and it doesn't have any good discovery checks. Like here I would just take the knight. Here I probably just have to move my king, and I still attack this square, and the knight can't come back to defend it. So that was the position I saw, but after I moved my bishop here, he plays the best move. He plays knight to d1, which is a backwards knight move, and I didn't think about that move. So when he played it, I had to think a bit. I obviously saw that he attacks my rook and he defends the f2 square, so I knew it was probably a good move. I decided to throw in a check here to discombobulate his king a bit, so he has to move the king. And here my instinct was to move the rook back, and if he does trade here, I would take back with the rook and force his king back to these squares. So that was my first instinct, and the computer just like it. But then I thought maybe I should keep my rook on the second rank here to keep the pressure on this pawn, and maybe use this rook instead to like maybe go up here to get the king pushed in. But then, my friends, I had a brilliant idea. Like, I had 15 minutes left on the clock. I felt like I had control over the position here, and the ideas are good. It is the right ideas. And then I thought I saw a brilliant move, and I played it almost instantly after I saw it, which is a big error. So the idea about getting this rook to this rank, I knew that probably was good, and I saw all of a sudden that I can just take this pawn. So I did take that pawn, and then I wanted to move my king somewhere and play rook to g8 after. But as you see at the eval bar, there's a pretty big mistake here, and that is my rook is hanging. Like, I saw that, but after I spent a few, I don't know, not many seconds, maybe 30 seconds, and I saw that I could take here and open up this file. I just played it instantly, and I totally forgot that I had to move this rook. That was the whole idea about going rook back to b6, because it is under attack, and so it does take the rook here. And I throw my hands up and I curse a little, and he laughs a bit and says he was pretty lucky there, and obviously he was. I said you bet, because I had a good position. I knew I had a good position, but I kind of threw it away, or not kind of, I did throw it away. So I could show a few more moves here. I checked his king. He went back with a check on my king. I played it to h6. He played rook to e1, and I do not want to allow him this check, so I went here to protect this square. He plays c4. I play my bishop back to c7, and here I thought I would go rook to e7 to try and gobble my pawns here, but he actually played rook to e5, and here I was a bit scared, like this pawn is hanging and maybe he has some ideas about getting his rooks in here. So, but I thought like this move gave me some chances for some counterplays. I played rook to d8. Maybe I have some ideas about coming here and taking here. But they played rook to f5, which attacks my bishop. I place it on g6. He goes f6, and now it's pinned and also under attack twice. I have to protect it with my rook. And here I thought he would just probably trade because he has a knight, and then just take my pawns. But he played it just safe, played knight to d3, and I tried to get out of the pin. And here I thought maybe like I had one last trick that I could hope he fell for. Like if he went knight to f4, I would play bishop to d3, and obviously he can just take it back, and he wouldn't be in any problems. But maybe, you know, maybe he would move and I could take the rook here. Obviously he wouldn't, and if he takes the bishop then I would resign. But here he just trades down everything. He takes my pawn. This pawn is loose, so I attack the knight. He goes to e6, attacking my c-pawn, so I have to protect that one. And he gives me a check. And here I have a decision where I want my king. I decided to go to h6, because if I go away, maybe he can, or take the pawn and push his own h-pawn. So I went into h6, and now my king is kind of boxed out a bit here. So I place king to e2, and I play b5. And when he came back to the board now, I resigned the game, because I can't defend here. He can probably, I don't think he even has to take this. He can probably just move his pawn or something, or move his king closer, and I can't defend it. So I resigned here, and we had a laugh, and he said it was a great game by me, and it was a one move blunder, and it was pretty lucky. But there's no luck in chess. I should have, like, I saw it, and I should have taken more time. I had 15 minutes on my clock when I made that blunder. So it's, yeah, but it was a very interesting game, a lot of fun. It was great to have the chance to play a Grandmaster and get such a good position. And there's like kind of its own, how do you say it? Aspect of chess. Like, you have to keep your nerves in check. You have the time situation as well. You have to be able to make decisions fast in some situations, and the nerves got to me, and I made that blunder. But still, was a great game, and I hopefully I'll get the chance to play him again. So yeah. Other than that, like I said, I hope the microphone is better. Let me know if there's any tips on how to fix the sparking noise in the OBS. Also, I will try to fix some more lights in the room when I film in the evening. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe and all that. Leave comments if you have any questions or tips. Thank you for watching this video. I will probably stop recording this and start recording a new video for the series, and get closer to 2K. Alright, see ya.